And you are live. Thank you very much, YouTube, for this platform that you give us the opportunity to come and share our expertise and help us with our mission to help others. So thank you, YouTube. All right, for those that doesn't know me, my name is Lily Ackerman. I'm a transformational wellness master coach. Meaning, see all this behind me? That was my 4-year program um, to graduate from transformational wellness master coach. I'm sorry, wellness is covers body, mind, and spirit. Some coaches are health, some coaches are life, and me cover the three areas of a human being because apparently they are disconnected. I mean, separated, but they are interconnected. It's like I'm here, Lily Ackerman, but from here I deal with my relationships. From here, I deal with my job, with my entrepreneur, with my business, and from here, I deal with the external world. So with God, it depends how what is in here is how am I gonna relate to every area. So that's why I'm passionate to work with somebody because I'm able to work in the three different areas. And last week we talked about how one limiting belief affect your business and your life. So we want to continue that, and that's only one limiting belief. If you haven't seen the video, please watch it, or I can send it to you. And before we continue, will you be so kind uh, to press like, make a comment through when after you see that and after you listen what we have to say about this. If you are learning something, please share it with us. So this video can also be offered to somebody that might struggling in their finances, in their business, in their relationships. All right, thank you very much. All right, let's do it. Happy Monday after everything. I mean, before everything. All right. What if I told you that one belief? We're gonna continue with the same belief to see how one belief affect all your areas. Okay. The belief that we are talking about is I am not good enough. So that not be affecting only your confidence, but business and relationships, but your health. What if that belief you carry it for years? It is also influencing the way you sleep, the tension that you carry in your body, your stress response, and your energy. So, how do you think you are showing up as a leader in your business? I mean, if you have lack of sleep, if you're sick, um, so how are you going to go to work? How are you going to get up from bed and deal if you don't have energy? I mean, being an entrepreneur, it, in it is specific. Entrepreneurs, we're not just different mindset. We're made with different components. It's not the same thing that you go to work, and of course you have to do your job, right, to keep your job, and you get paid. But us is not the same paycheck if you show up or you don't show up in your job. We have to show up. We have to do um, different. But that different, you need your energy. You need your energy. So, and how are you gonna show up in your relationships too? So we often think that limiting beliefs live only in your mind. No, but your mind and body are are not completely separate worlds. Your brain and your body. You ever heard saying your body follow your mind? Well, it should. And we're gonna see why. So when I believe repeatedly creates fear, worry, shame, perfectionism, or the need to constantly prove yourself, your body can participate in that experience through its stress response. And that is what I want to talk about today. I want to take one okay, I'm sorry. We're going to continue with the limiting belief I am not good enough, and how the why and the how behind its potential impact on your body. So, your nervous system, your behavior, and ultimately the way you live your life and your business. So, I believe is behind recreating in the mind, so it's behind the scene, but the body can anticipate in the experience of that belief. So the scientifically stronger message is that chronic negative self-beliefs can contribute to stress, rumination, avoidance, and unhealthy behaviors. And chronic stress can affect multiple systems of your body. Now let's get into the why and the how. And I'm going to show you 10 ways, okay? Number one, it can keep the nervous system on alert, okay? It can keep the nervous system on alert. Why? If I believe that I'm not good enough, makes you constantly anticipate criticism, rejection, failure, or judgment. So everyday situation can begin to feel threatening. How? The sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight side of the autonomic nervous system, can become activated. So you may notice a racing heart, a shallow breathing, sweating, muscle tension, or feeling constantly on, on alert. So your body doesn't have to be running away from a tiger to experience stress. Sometimes the tiger is the story you keep telling yourself over and over and over. So it can repeatedly activate the stress response. This is connected with the next one. So it can repeatedly activate the stress response system. When your brain interprets something as threatening, the body can activate the HPA axis, eventually releasing cortisol. Cortisol is not bad, it is essential. The problem is repetitive or prolonged activation without adequate recovery. A stressor activates the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus releases CRH, cortisol releasing hormones. The CRH causes the anterior pituitary to release ACTH, adrenocorticotropic. Oh, shit. Again. Adrenocorticotropic hormone. And ACTH causes the adrenal cortex to release cortisol. So cortisol inhibits the hypothalamus and anterior pituitary. Why? Someone who believes they aren't good enough could constantly evaluate themselves. Did I do enough? What will they think? And will they think? That's a big one. What if I fail? What if I fail? So, how? The repetitive psychological stress can keep activating the body stress response ongoing. Number three, it can interfere with restorative sleep. Why? Feeling of inadequacy often feed rumination, replaying conversation, comparing yourself with others. How? Mental and psychological arousal can take it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep. Then poor sleep can make emotional regulation and stress management harder the following day. And I hear so many people. That's why we get up and we want to go back to sleep. And if you go to sleep worry or about thinking what happened, the belief that is running constantly, um, how are you going to go to sleep in peace? How your body's going to rest? How your body's going to detox? Because we detox through the night, during the night. So there is no recovery. And the day after, you need what? Coffee. And coffee is not bad. I drink coffee every day. The problem is when we drink coffee to get energy. That's a problem because I'm going to end having 10 cups a day or bull red or, things that people start um, drinking. When our health get a bigger impact now because it's our lipid belief is running behind the scenes in everything that you're doing, and now I'm adding all of these chemicals into my system. All right, number 4, it can create chronic muscle tension. Why? Our body preparing for threat braces itself. When in in an accident, because even if we don't see it, the body sees. And one of the reasons that we sometimes survive is because the muscles can need to protect the bone structure. So there's a reason. And when I'm constantly tensing, uh, then eventually I'm going to, when I feel the pain is because it's been tightening a little bit and a little bit. And when the pain shows up is because we cannot tighten more our muscles. It's a wake up call to do something about it. So the how. Some people unconsciously tighten their jaw, and then they have a lot of issues. When I was practitioner, holistic practitioner, we have a lot of people with problem in the jaw, the neck, their back, because we have hundreds of nerves going through here in the face, but in the neck is like um, the busiest freeway. So the muscle are being tense. I mean, and then it pressed the nerve, and when it pressed the nerve, it creates headaches, migraines, and pain. So also the abdominal muscles stress during stress. It happens repeatedly. They may experience tension, discomfort. So, have you ever noticed your shoulder almost touching your ears when you are stressed? Come like this. So, it's good to check our body language to know what is happening with you. Number 5, it can affect digestion. It's a big topic right now. It's a huge problem, health problem. Why? The brain and gastrointestinal system communicates consciously through what we commonly call the gut-brain axis. The brain, they call it our intestine, no, our stomach, the second brain. So we have two brains now. So the how. Stress can alter digestive activity and gut sensation. Yeah, your gut is your second brain. For some people, that means butterflies, nausea, appetite changes, abdominal discomfort, diarrhea, constipation, or worsening of the existing gastrointestinal um, symptoms. And people sometimes they go through that because they are thinking about what happened the day before, what happened with the business, what happened with the offer, what happened with the opportunity, that we lost the opportunity. I lost the opportunity because I don't know enough, because um, no, they're going to give the promotion to somebody else. And we are eating at that moment. So we blame the meal. Something was wrong. Oh, I shouldn't eat that. But we almost never are going to go like, what am I feeling this way? We normally don't question ourselves. We tend to blame in the external. That's why I feel that, because something external but not internal. So chronic stress associated with these thoughts pattern can influence digestive function. Number six, it can influence cardiovascular activity. Why? Fight or flight prepares the body for action. How? Stress hormones and sympathetic activation can temporarily increase heart rate and blood pressure. So occasionally activation is normal. The concern is when chronic stress becomes part of someone's everyday life alongside other cardiovascular risk factors. Um, we're gonna sweat, we're gonna feel nervous, we're gonna feel fear when we are doing something new, when we are, I'm gonna offer my, talk about my offer. Um, Recently, I was interviewed, and I was in front of 10,000, over 10,000 coaches. Yeah, I felt nervous. Yes, I was sweating, but eventually it was like, I start talking about what I do, and then I came, my whole body like, shh, you got this, Lelia. But when that doesn't happen, then the activation is prolonged. It doesn't have a rest, because yeah, I talk about my offer. My client didn't pursue working with me, but if we finish right here, that will be fine. The problem is I'm gonna be thinking about it. I'm gonna be eating and thinking about it. I'm gonna go sleep and thinking about it. So the extension, the burden, the exhaustion of um of thinking about what happened, what it went wrong. That is when uh, the heart overworks. The heart blood pressure is boiling constantly. So, number seven, it can affect immune and inflammatory regulation. There's a lot of inflammation issues um, uh, with people. So, why? The nervous system, endocrine, and immune system communicate with one another, just as our um, different areas of our life, they are interconnected. Same thing happened in the inside. So how chronic psychological stress is associated with changes in immune function and inflammatory process. Number eight, it can change behavior, and behavior changes your health. This one is extremely important because the pathway is very concrete. I'm not the why. I'm not good enough. Can become why even try. So I show up. Nobody is show up in my life. When I go live, nobody is texting, posting. Nobody is making comment. Nobody's engaging. So why even try? It must be something wrong with me. It might be, what do I need? And then people go for the next um, program, and for the next program, and going to the events, motivational events, and I come on fire. But that belief continue there. So that belief is so strong. This is doesn't matter how many events you go, you come back, you're on fire, but soon it goes away. The excitement goes away. So I need to go to another event. I need to take another program. I'm not ready yet, so on. So someone may stop exercising completely because they don't see the results. Neglect healthy meals, isolate themselves, overwork, escape emotional eat, and emotional eaters is very hard. When our emotional eaters, it's very hard to no, not hard, but it takes a little bit longer because it's an area that is almost, you have to be very careful to address that so that your brain and your body can open up for new ideas. They have a special diet, the comfort meals they call it. So on or in the other hand, they use unhealthy coping behaviors. So sometimes the pathway is belief, emotion, behavior, repeated habit, health, and consequence. So I skip the trauma. The trauma is the beginning of everything. The good beliefs or limiting beliefs. Okay. If we put it together with I am not good enough, it will be like this. I am not good enough. I worry. I have poor sleep. I feel exhausted. I feel emotional overwhelmed. And now I have more self doubt. And the confirmation. See, I knew I wasn't good enough. I knew that I didn't know enough. I knew that I was going to give it to somebody else because they have more qualifications. I knew that that's a confirmation because somehow, we have our belief, and life doesn't want you to be wrong. Life is going to prove you that you are right. And that's why that belief now is stronger. Because anything that we don't address is not going to go away. It's going to stay and it's going to be more intense. So it's part of our life. We can think like, why? What am I thinking? I'm not good enough. What? But later on, no, it's a fact. I'm not good enough. It's a fact because we need a confirmation that let me know that I'm right. So our goal is to recognize that our emotional world and physical well-being are interconnected. Number 9, it can create perfectionism and overworking. This connects beautifully. Okay? Why? A person may unconsciously try to prove their worth through achievements. I see, especially this more in men, but let's see the how. They work longer, have difficulty resting, feel guilty taking time off, say yes when they need to say no, and constantly move the finish line. So the nervous system rarely get the message that threat is over, you can recover now. So they finally, for example, they finally hit 10,000. They should celebrate, right? They should be excited, they should be super motivated, but rather they are thinking, I should have been 20,000. Now they hitting for 20,000. So they reach the 20,000 and think someone else is doing 50,000. Now you're hitting for the 50,000. And again, the nervous system rarely gets the message. Threat is over. You can recover now. Last one. I hope you are taking something out of this. It can become a self-reinforced loop. Imagine an entrepreneur who believes I am not good enough. A business opportunity appears. Instead of simply seeing an opportunity, they think, what if I fail? What if they realize I don't know enough? Why? What if nobody buys? So is that back into why even try, right? So their heart races, muscle tighten, sleeps poorly, and they procrastinate on the lounge. They doesn't show up confidentially. Then they look at disappointment results and says, "See, I knew I wasn't good enough." So as entrepreneurs building a business, we're gonna if we don't tackle these limiting beliefs and we again I get up tired and I have to go live, how am I gonna show up? How am I gonna have the energy? Um, so this is a cycle again. Belief, perceived threat, stress response, emotions, behavior, outcome, reinforcement of the belief. That belief may have started years ago, but your body and your business may still responding to the belief today. How many times a day? Who knows? So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any question, please let me know, and I will do my best to address your questions. I always answer the questions, always, and sooner or later, but you will get my answer. And thank you very much. Announcement. I'm about to, in September, from September 7 to 11, I'm running a challenge. It's a free challenge where we're going to touch limiting beliefs. Uh, so how are limiting beliefs born, what, how they affect your life and your business, and how to dismantle them. Also, we're going to talk about identity. If the identity that I'm not good enough, how's going to show up in the world? How far are you going to go with your business? And many people, that's why 8% of people just finish their final line because uh, the majority of them, they get lost in the process. When I was doing my book, hundreds of people sign up for the program. We have the same teacher, we have the same lessons, but guess what? We started all together. But soon, yeah, and you see it, when you're doing a program in Facebook or it doesn't matter what platform, you see tons of messages in the beginning. Yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But before we start the program, you can hear, I want to, and I want to, and I want to, and I want to. So the program start, and yeah, I'm in this step, and then slow down, or like abruptly silent. And you see some people, I mean, lesson 9 or lesson 10, lesson 5, by lesson 4, a lot of people they are ready. They call it behind because the language that we use is gonna keep us frozen. So if I said um, I'm running behind, that automatically made me feel, ugh, everybody's doing this. Oh, and I don't want to read that text anymore because I don't want to be embarrassed to myself. And then just few out of the 100, they say, I published my book. And even at the very end, when you are um, click publish, you have your doubts, and because limited beliefs, they can show every single day, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, or they can show once a year. What do you prefer? Because at that moment that I was gonna press publishing, yeah, a lot of the stuff drawn to my mind. Uh, who's gonna read your book? Uh, what they're gonna say? What? She doesn't know. This is content is stupid. You know, people are gonna say whatever they want, right? It's not about that. It's how we're gonna take it. So, but at that particular moment that I was gonna um, about not to press publishing, I did, and then I recovered and I did publish. So only 8% of people pursue their dreams, pursue their goals, because they have what it takes, how to what to do when those limiting beliefs show up. So um, so I did it, and because of that, I finished 4 years program. And actually, I did this 4 year program and another program that lasts about the same amount. One it was physical, the other was online. So I did two programs at the same time. And but those limiting beliefs eventually are gonna continue showing up, but they don't have no power in you, no more, no more. So we're going to address that, and we're going to address your identity, because if my identity, I'm not good enough, is the identity that I carry. Never I'm going to be financially in abundance. Never. So that's why it's important to understand, to resolve them, to face them, and to move on. Move on. And we're going to also talk about uh, your beliefs, your identity, your health connection also. It is important that to address our body, to acknowledge that it's been impact for this belief for 10, 20, 40, 50 years, and how to help our body to restore that. All right? Because all health is very important. And so we have, and at the end, we're going to put all together. Every day we have exercises and visualization, because since day number one, transformation start. Transform the leader, transform your business and your personal life. So if that's you and you're ready and you don't want to say, I want this and I want this, but you want to take action, just send me a message and I will send you the details. All right. Thank you very much. See you. I come live on Mondays at 10 o'clock. I apologize, but I'm here for you. I'm here anyways. All right. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy the rest of the week. Every day we have the opportunity to do something with that energy. Be productive, or we pissed off. I prefer to be productive. I prefer to use that energy for something amazing and unique, because this is your day. God is giving us this life for a reason. Let's do it. All right. Love you very much. Ciao.